What is going on, guys? Johnny on the track, back with another video. What an adventure it's been to record this for you guys. My computer has been just atrocious. I'm already a day late. Some family stuff, like prior commitment that I just had to attend. So I had to push the recording or the video a day late, which I don't think, honestly, I've ever done. I'm not sure if we've ever been doing betting shows, if I've ever released something on a Wednesday. But you got to do what you got to do sometimes. That was not the issue. It's more this computer that's just driving me insane. But the good news is it seems like we're rolling smooth now. So I ate some dinner. Well, I recorded one. It came out terribly after trying 8 times prior to that. But I was like, whatever. This seems good enough, but I was just not in it, not in it. My head was not in it. So I ate some dinner, and the computer seems to be juiced up at this point and ready to roll. So that's exciting. What else is exciting is Talladega playoffs this Sunday afternoon. I cannot wait. Banger of a race last year. We won Ryan Blaney this race last year. He beat Kevin Harvick to the line. I think I also had Harvick, to be honest with you, if I go back correctly. But Ryan Blaney won that race. I think he's going to be a strong contender to win it again on Sunday. But I'll get into the bets. I guess before I do that, let's do the NASCAR betting preview show, the partnership with that entity, that podcast entity. It's how you listen to my podcast version of this show. If you're listening via or watching rather via YouTube, I'd like you to go to Spotify or the Apple Podcast app and just search NASCAR betting preview show in the search bar. Hit that follow button. You'll get plenty of great motorsports betting content from motorsports bettors like myself, getting you ready for the weekend that is Talladega. And of course, the live NASCAR betting preview show goes live on Wednesday nights at X, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There we go. Let's get into the betting card. I'm going to start with top tens here. One top 10 that I really like is Daniel Hemrick for a top 10. I believe the number is right around plus 400. It was plus 350 on Rhode Island Sportsbook, but let me get the most up-to-date number for you all on DraftKings Sportsbook, because I know that's what a lot of you guys tend to use. So top 10 for Daniel Hemrick on DraftKings Sportsbook is plus 300. So shop around because I have it at plus 350 on Rhode Island Sportsbook. But Daniel Hemrick, nonetheless, top 10 at Dega earlier this year, top 10 at Daytona at the end of the regular season, and finished 11th a few weeks back at another one of these newer super speedways. But essentially, that bet has hit twice, and the only guys that have higher odds for top tens are Zane Smith, JJ Yeley, Cody Ware, and BJ McLeod. Cody Ware and BJ, well, actually JJ Yeley, Cody Ware, and BJ McLeod just really don't have the speed whatsoever. So it's going to take a lot of wrecks for them to get there. Zane Smith plus 330. I actually think that's a pretty good value bet. We saw him perform pretty well last weekend at Kansas. So Zane Smith, I'm surprised he's that high up. But Daniel Hemrick, like I said, this bet it's hit twice and it almost hit one more time, and it already hit at Dega this year. So Daniel Hemrick, top 10, plus 300, plus 350. Shop around. You might find an even better number than plus 350, maybe plus 4 if you can find it. Eric Jones. Eric Jones, top 10 at Talladega. He's got six top 10s in the last 8 races at Talladega. But the poor guy, quite frankly, has had an abysmal season. He's got one top 10 all year. He's at the Daytona 500. Obviously, had an injury in between that kept him out. So, you got to factor that in. But it's been a terrible season for Eric Jones. And quite frankly, I think it's the right spot for him to go out and have a race, an absolute race from start to finish. I think he's a guy, if you want a huge underdog, I think you can take his money line Let's see what it sits at. Eric Jones to win sits at 55 to 1 plus 5,500. So if you're looking for a super huge dark horse bet, I would go with Eric Jones. But like I said, six top tens in the last eight races. I know it's been a rough season. He's got the one top 10. It was at a super speedway track. So, take that for what it's worth. I just think he's going to have a good race at one of his best tracks. So Eric Jones for a top 10. Let's start to get into some true money line bets. I'm going to start with my favorite bet of the weekend. It's Kyle Busch. He's just due. He is just due to win. If you watch the race on Sunday at Kansas, it was really, really frustrating if you're a Kyle Busch fan. I wasn't. I like him a lot now. I was not always a fan of Kyle Busch, but I'm rooting for him heavy now that he's in a Chevy. That rhymed, heavy Chevy. But I really, really want to see him win and continue to win for RCR. And I also want to see want to see that streak continue for winning a race. I think it's going to be 20 years or something like that, whatever, 19, 20 years. So whatever it is, he needs a win to keep that streak up. RCR, their success at plate tracks in the next gen era, especially when Kyle's been there, we saw how good he was finishing second at Daytona. He won Talladega last year. He's been good at Daytona, the 500s in his time with RCR. So all the heartbreak, the streak on the line, the second place finishes, it's all boiling up for Kyle Busch. Something's got to give at some point, and I think it gives this weekend at Talladega. It is now or never. I think the only other chance he has to win this season is at Las Vegas. That is it. It's his home track. He had a really good mile and a half car at Kansas. That's it. He's not winning the Roval. I don't think he's winning at Homestead. Um, and I don't think he's win at Martinsville, quite frankly. And I know Austin Dillon had a good car on a short flat at Richmond not too long ago, but it's Vegas, excuse me, it's Vegas or it's Talladega, and I think Talladega is a great shot for Kyle Busch. He's going to be there in the end when it counts. I can promise you that. Chase Elliott, I think he's due. I think he's due for a win. I think he's due for a spark to really ignite. Um, a good end to his season. I don't think he's going to win a championship. He just doesn't have the speed, but he's been super consistent this season. He's a two-time winner at Talladega. He's won this very race, the playoff race, I believe in his championship year. His car is going to be great. You know that about Hendrick and Chase Elliott. He's going to have a good car. He hasn't been the best at super speedways this year, but like I said, he's due. He's been consistent. He doesn't really DNF and wreck out. So, I just feel like in this spot, Chase Elliott is a guy that needs kind of a confidence boost. And I feel like this is a good track for him to get said confidence boost at. He is to win, I believe 15 to 1 is the number on Chase. Actually, 13 to 1, I see it here. Shop around. I think I saw it at 15 to 1 on RI Sportsbook. 10 to 1, the number on Kyle Busch. Shop around for that. I know Kyle Busch on Rhode Island Sportsbook is 12 to 1. So shop around for that number. Ryan Blaney, he's the favorite on DraftKings. He's 9 to 1. Again, shop around. You should find a better number. You can find a better number. I like all the Penske drivers here. Blaney, Cindric, Logano. We saw how good they were at Atlanta. Cindric was one of, if not the leading points getter at Atlanta. Blaney finished second, and he helped Logano win that thing. So those three guys, those three cars, that manufacturer is going to be incredible. We've seen what Michael McDowell can do on the pole, and how much speed he brings, and Todd Gilliland brings to qualifying. So Ford overall just brings speed. There is some aerodynamic changes coming. I don't think it's going to affect, a guy like Blaney, a guy like Logano, Cindric, McDowell. But I love all the Penske drivers here. The number one for me would be Blaney. Number two would be Logano. Number three would be Cindric. But feel free to place that winning team bet, place that manufacturer bet, and definitely, I think Blaney. This is the race he won last year to really ignite that championship run. It went what? It went Dega, Martinsville, and then second at Phoenix, obviously. But Blaney going to bring a hot rod. He's going to be up front. We know how good he is at Talladega and at Super Speedway. So excited to see what Blaney can do. And then Chase Briscoe. For me, it's a got to have it bet. It's a storybook bet. This is the moment where Chase Briscoe can just have a storybook ending to his time at his literal icons team, being Stewart Haas Racing and Tony Stewart. He's in that 14 car. He's got I believe it's this race where he's racing. I could be wrong. Um, Hold on. I'm going to fact check myself as I continue to talk, but I know Chase Briscoe is bringing some sort of a Tony Stewart tribute to one of these races coming up. Let's see. I want to get the news. Yeah, yep, there it is. So it's gonna be that black and yellow iconic scheme that Tony Stewart used to run. Chase Briscoe will be running that. I love it. Channel your inner Tony Stewart. But like I said, if yeah, I want to see Briscoe get through to the round of eight. He's done it before with his back up against the wall. He's in a huge, huge, huge points hole, like huge points hole. So he's going to have to run good all afternoon. I think he will. I think he's going to be around top five for most of this race. And like I said, he has to win this thing to move on to the next round. He was in a big points hole in the round of 16 and overcame it. But to do that, you have to be good at Talladega. You have to run up front all day. And I think he can do that. And I think he has a chance to win this thing and move on to the round of eight. So those are the main guys I'm targeting. As always, Johnny on the track on Action Network at JOTT_podcast on X for the full betting card. Kyle Busch, Ryan Blaney, Chase Briscoe, Chase Elliott. On top of Ryan Blaney, Cindric Logano, Ford as a manufacturer and winning team, Penske. I like all of those. And then top 10 bets, Eric Jones and Daniel Hemrick. Plenty of value all around the board. Want to know what you guys think? Who are your top 10 bets? Who are your top five, top three winners? Put them in the comment section below on who you're targeting. Like this video, it goes a long way for the channel. And of course, subscribe for more motor sports betting content by yours truly. Appreciate you guys watching. Let's have a great weekend. And of course, let's go win some money.